Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to jump on here for a quick minute. I got, 15, 20 minutes on break, so had a few things rumbling around in my head that I wanted y'all to hear and see what y'all thought about it. First of all, I want to say kudos and congratulations and whatever else you can think of to that Nashville officer, all 4 or 5 of them that burst into that door, risking their own life and their own safety to take out this madman. Or mad woman. I don't care. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. I don't care if that guy was straight, gay, transgender. I don't care. It doesn't matter. When you decide to kill kids, you're a madman and a piece of shit, and you need to execute it. Period. The end. So now that that's taken care of, that's just one less madman on the planet. But everybody wants to, especially Democrats, everybody's talking about taking guns. Joe Biden's talking about trying to get the assault weapons ban reinstated. It's not about the guns. For the love of all that's good, can we address the issue? Why do we protect everything in this country with guns except our own fucking children? Just doesn't make sense. If we had armed guards at our schools, things like this would never happen. Because at the end of the day, it's a soft target. You don't ever see a gunman go and attack a federal building or a military base or a police station. No, they don't. They always take the soft targets. So let's protect our children like they are the assets that they are. They are the future leaders of this country. And it's not, you don't even have to come up with full-time money. It's not a full-time thing. You could do part-time. Veterans would volunteer to do this shit. If you paid them a small stipend every month in addition to their retirement, they'd be happy to do this. So you can make it happen if you really want it to happen. That's the end of that, in my opinion. Let's protect these kids. Let's get some armed security guards, armed veterans at these schools, every single one of them. Second thing, this whole Jacob Chansley release, no one did him any favors. They didn't release him because, it's the kindness of out of their heart. It's not the reason. They didn't release him because a new evidence came to surface that says, he's free. No. They released him because he did 70 or 80% of his time, just like any other person has been convicted of a crime. With all this new evidence that's come out that shows that he did not riot or cause damage or anything, now they're trying to act like they got him out of prison because they realized that there was something wrong with the evidence. No, he did his 80%, and he's going to do the last 20% of his time at a halfway house for like the next 6 or 8 weeks. His original release date was in July. So they didn't do him any favors. He still has a mark on his record. He still has to go through this nonsense that he's still going through. All for what? For the federal government to lie, to convict this guy. That's just it. That's all it was. And I hope that he has a halfway decent fucking attorney and they sue the shit out of the federal government because they violated his rights by not allowing that evidence to surface. And the last little quick tidbit that I want to touch on is this Donald Trump indictment. This is the absolute biggest and most prominent form of election interference. They know that there's no way they can get this to stick. You can indict someone all you want. Just like the old saying goes, you can indict a ham sandwich in New York City. That's literally true. But you're never going to get these charges to stick and to create a conviction. You really have to spin the evidence to make it look the way they want it to look. Number one, this is something that happened 7 years ago. So as a misdemeanor, it's been kicked out 4 or 5 years ago. But they're trying to tie it to a federal election law, which makes it a felony, which then has a statute of limitations of 5 to 7 years, which is where we're at right now. So trying to get something to stick is unreal. We also know that Alvin Bragg, whatever his name is, the DA in Manhattan, received $1 million from George Soros. You're funded by the leftist that hates Donald Trump the most. And he's the one that funds a lot of these proxy wars and these civil unrest. And he's the one that funded a lot of these riots. And he probably, I don't know any truth to this, but he probably heavily funds the migrants that are traveling from South America. You know, I mean, how do you claim that you're homeless and hungry, but you show up at our border with a fully charged cell phone and a fat belly? You know, somebody's funding these migrants, somebody's feeding them, somebody's paying for them, someone's charging their phones. Someone's doing this. This is not just happening. But I don't want to get off subject. There's no way that the only way you can convict Donald Trump in this situation is to get inside of his mind and to know that inside his mind he paid Stormy Daniels because he knew that he would lose the election. That's the only way you can convict. There is absolutely no evidence that I'm aware of that shows any connection. That's the only way you can convict him, is if you can find it on paper that he believes that Stormy Daniels would affect the outcome of the election. That's the reason why he was paid, or she was paid. And you can't find any of that evidence. So how are they going to convict someone with no evidence? And at best, your best evidence is from President Trump's former attorney, who was literally convicted of lying and misleading an investigation. That's your number one witness? There's no way this case is going to stick. It's 100% politically motivated, and I don't think anyone's going to show me any evidence that can prove that it's not. I guess we'll have to wait and see what type of evidence they actually have, because it will be presented. This is going to go to court. This is going to be a long, drawn-out court process, and most likely see the trial moved to upstate New York or something like that, just to get out of New York City, because there's no way Donald Trump can get a fair trial in downtown Manhattan. You know, that city, that whole city is so blue it's almost purple. So, you know, but hey, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I hope your day is going great. I hope you have a great weekend coming up. Here in my area, we got some rain and some storms moving in, but it looks like spring is finally here, and I can't wait to get out there and do some fishing and camping and talking to you guys a little more. So everybody have a great day, great weekend. Hope your days are great.